Well, good evening everybody and welcome along to round number 3 of the Foxworth Autosport Fantasy League. We are here finally at the iRacing Super Speedway for round number 3. I'm joined as always by Mr. Foxworth himself. How are you this evening? Or
I'm good.
For
It's,
you, or lunchtime?
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. So, we're here for round 3. Round 2 was an absolute belter, wasn't it? Around Spa, last time out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a belter, maybe a punter.
It was, yeah, a big repair bill for a lot of the teams anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah. Half the teams are bankrupted, but it's okay. We used our zero funds and, just let all the teams race again. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the one good thing about being a spec series. They knew this was probably going to happen, and they had 100 spare cars waiting, most of which are being used this weekend. So we are live, actually live rather than the pre-recorded video for a change. So you guys can watch along in its entirety. We're into qualifying now. The car's just coming out. It's a chance to trial it live, and also technical issues with my recording means that we need to do it again. So that is what it is. It can happen sometimes. The other advantage of doing it live, you know if it's working or not, I guess. So we're here for 40 laps of the iRacing Super Speedway, and it's the first oval of 2 in this championship. It's going to be interesting. Very, very different type of race to the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to even be a little bit different to Daytona as well, which was in the test races. So you're going to see pack racing at the beginning, like we did with Daytona, but you're not going to see that 3 or 4 wide. You're going to see maybe 6 or 7 wide, and it's going to cause a lot of incidents early on, but it's going to spread out very quickly. There's no cautions, so the drivers are going to keep going, thankfully. Be a caution fest otherwise, but yeah, it's going to spread out, and it's going to turn into almost like a fuel strategy race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be about surviving that initial stint where the 40 cars are very close together. And then, they'll start to spread out a bit after the first few stops. But one thing we need to point out here, with the way that iRacing AI seem to deal with full course yellows in these F3 cars, I haven't tried it in NASCAR. We might do that at some point, as we've mentioned before. But we've had to turn full course yellows off. So if there is a wreck, then those cars will either try and make it back to the pits under their own steam, or be teleported back if the damage is too great, and they'll be back out into the race. So there'll be no full course yellows, so it will be racing from start to finish, and whatever happens will happen. So yeah, I'm super excited about this one. It's going to be quite a sight for all these 44 cars going around on those opening couple of laps. Should we take a look at the standings while the guys are qualifying?
Sure, I can do a rundown of the standings. We obviously the top 5 in the championship are Matt Neal, David Attenborough, Karen Horner, Puluminati, and Harambe. And then quickly followed by Paul Disaster, which is the teammate of Matt Neal. So that means that there is a huge lead for BBW Cosworth Racing. And Life Finds Way GP is in second, Memes to the Moon is third, Team Principals is fourth, and Team RV is in fifth. So, and from first all the way down to 14th, there's only a 1 race win gap. So there is quite a bit of maneuverability left. Obviously, this is only the 3rd round of 10. So the standings are absolutely going to change. And yeah, we'll have to see what they look like coming out of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. BBW did really well last time out and kept their lead. But as we saw and discussed, the pack behind them has closed even more. And I think that's what we'll see as the season goes on, is those gaps start to get smaller and smaller. Anybody in an early lead won't necessarily stay there. But yeah, great race last time for Life Finds a Way, and Memes to the Moon have been fairly consistent throughout. The key thing is our 2 race winners, Karen Horner and Puluminati, have only 3rd and 4th. Our actual leaders are those that are more consistent over the season rather than going for the outright victories. But yeah, we'll have to see how they get on today. I've got a feeling, I know it's going to be a bit of a lottery. So
Absolutely.
Any of those could jump to the top in this one with 100 points available. Talking of the top, it's Pierre Lacroix at the moment on provisional pole for this race then. Provisional pole doesn't count for much around here though, does it? All round in general.
Everything's going to change. How much longer in this session?
There's 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes, yeah. So there's times are definitely going to be tumbling down. Just depends on if you're going to catch a draft or not. And yeah, it's going to be much different as people cross the line and already pop into the top 10 there. But yeah, and as you say, you probably either want to be in the front or the back come the start of this race. Because most of the incidents are going to happen in the mid-pack here. And so you're going to have the best chance of dodging it if you can see what's happening or if you're ahead of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that was... I can't find who I was on board with now, though, in this little group. This is also going to be key for qualifying, right? If you can find yourself a tow around this lap, it's going to be worth its weight in gold, isn't it? As I've forgotten who people are now. That's Johnny Schumacher and... Who's the Cartoon Network car?
James Vowles.
James Vowles. Okay, as those guys now come into the pits. But yeah, that helps him out quite a little bit. James Vowles is there in 8th, Bertrand Zanardi 7th, so obviously that works that time around, getting a nice tow. Let's see if there's anyone on a lap at the moment. We've got Johnny Schumacher and Lando Calrissian from that group that have carried on. Lando Calrissian currently P8, and Johnny Schumacher currently P20. So they'll be wanting to improve. Where are our championship contenders then? So Matt Neal, the current leader, is P5, so he's up there again. I'm going to start to think this is rigged, Fox.
Yeah, the Evergreen. I think we ported the Colin McRae AI over to the Matt Neal AI. Two British legends, right?
I know it's not a good thing to say 2 rounds in, but I did go through just before this one and check that the AI were completely equal. And they are, so it is just how it's turned out so far. Illuminati also up there in the championship, P10. Jake Dennis has really struggled with strategy so far. He seemed to have good pace throughout, but just got the wrong strategy calls a couple of times.
Got a brand new livery as well, the Whopper car.
He does. So he was originally meant to have a Vegemite livery for the first couple of races. I believe there were some copyright issues that had to be discussed with the legal organisers. And he's now got a Whopper Burger King livery. So they have finally got that car painted.
Yeah, and we're going to put up a crowdfunding campaign for £2.6 million to our copyright issues.
Yes, where we buy Vegemite.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more money than that somehow, but, you know. We can give it a go.
I thought we were funding the lawsuits, but okay. Just buy the company. You can't sue yourself then.
Much simpler, yeah.
Much simpler, yeah.
We'll probably need a couple of billion Vegemite and Marmite. I don't know, they're owned by, to be fair.
I don't know. Everyone's owned by like 3 companies.
Well, the check flag is out then for qualifying. So we'll see if anybody improves. But currently, it's our crash magnet, Pierre Lacroix. He's had a qualifying crash and a race crash in so far this year. But yeah, he's currently on provisional pole from Ted Kravitz. He likes the ovals, apparently.
Indeed, he's in the wrong sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Verstappen and Saf. So we'll see if anyone is improving. George Trulli pops himself up into P6. That's a much better effort from him. And will there be any for any more? Can't see any improvements and can't see anybody on a lap. So I think that is going to be our grid then. So it's Pierre Lacroix. That takes pole position for the Super Speedway. From Ted Kravitz, Michael Verstappen, Saf. So Matt Neal, George Trulli, Heinz Harold Hill, Peter Wellington, and Bertrand Zanardi, and Lando Calrissian. Round off your top 10. So Matt Neal, consistent again. Up there in P5. We've got Pulu in P12. Who's currently second? Is it David? Aspel Richard. It's David, isn't it?
It's David Attenborough, yep.
Yeah, who we can actually see on screen there. It's down in P32.
32. Oof.
But to be fair, these guys that team have been specialists of coming back through the field.
They have indeed, and 42nd
so
is Richard Attenborough as well. So both drivers way down the order.
So Liam's team will have to do it again then if they want to keep challenging for that championship, as all of them pop in. It's not a Le Mans start, don't worry. They're just that's how they line up.
I didn't realize how cool that looked, all the different colors lined up like that.
I know, it's almost like that should have been the thumbnail if I'd thought about it, but yeah. We didn't. Right, do you want to run us through the grid then, Fox?
Absolutely. As you said, Crash Magnet starting on pole, Pierre Lacroix could very well crash the entire field out today. Then moving down the order, we got Ted Kravitz, pit lane reporter. Maybe it should be an oval racer. Who knows? Moving down the order, we got Michael Verstappen. Saf Safso, a fantastic performance from him. He usually starts further down the field. Then we got Mr. Consistency, Matt Neal, followed by George Truly, Heinz Harold Hill, Peter Bonington, Bertrand Zanardi, Lando Calrissian, James Vowles, Pulu Minardi, 8, Jake Dennis. We'll see if he can find a strategy that works for him today. We got Natalie Pinkman, Han Solo, Gerhard Berger, Karen Horner. She won last time out. Can she fight her way through the field? We got Harambe, who is 5th in the championship, so pretty far down the order for a championship contender. We got Flavio Briatore, James Ensby, Hudson Hornet, Walter White, John Major, Johnny Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Lucius Augustus. He was almost going to win from pole last time out, and unfortunately got crashed out by the guy right ahead of him. We'll see if he takes some revenge today. We got Samuel L. Jackson, followed by Jackson Storm, Cecil the Lion, Susie Wolf, David Attenborough, again, another championship contender way down the field. Then we got Jesse Pinkman, Liam Bridesmaid, Martin Brundle, Kazuma Sato, Paul Disaster, not as consistent as his teammate up front. We'll see if he can fight through the field and keep BBW Racing on top. And then we got Mind Polecat, Ayrton Senna, Yarno Russell, Gilles Villeneuve, not the Buffy character. We got Richard Attenborough, Jack Villeneuve, and Jeff Goldblum. Quite the crash magnet last time out. So maybe it's a good thing he's in the back. We'll find out.
Yeah, absolutely. Those top 3 teams then, obviously Life Finds a Way really struggling. But yeah, Matt Neal once again proving a very good performance up there. His teammate lagging quite a way behind, Paul Disaster. Similar story with one of your teams, Pulu. Nicely up there at just outside the top 10. And Polecat once again has a pretty awful qualifying. But it's going to be about a lot more than that around here.
Yeah, absolutely. We got an early protest from team principal of Team RV. He says that all the other teams must have illegal parts. Where's the FIA? We're not affiliated with the FIA, unfortunately.
How has his team done then? So we've got Jesse Pinkman and Walter White, the better of the 2 teams currently. Walter White we've got in P23, and Jesse Pinkman is down in P33.
33. And then Hudson Hornet and Jackson Storm as well. 29th and 22nd. So
they need a good result, that the Cars team, don't they? Those 2.
Absolutely.
They've had a pretty shocking season so far. Likewise,
but everything can change in the first lap.
Well, this is it, isn't it? It's going to be about them avoiding those early incidents. And then settling down once things calm down. I don't expect things to be calm here until the first pit stop at the earliest with this many cars on track, but we'll have to wait and see. 50% fuel tanks on the Dolores today, so I don't know. I think we're expecting them maybe 10 to 15 laps before they have to come in. 2, 3 or 4 stop race. Again, not too sure. We'll have to wait and see.
Except for Jake Dennis, he's got a 30 stop race oncoming.
Probably, yeah. If anyone's going to muck up the strategy, it's going to be that team, isn't it? Down there in that Fruit Loops car.
Yeah.
Right.
We have some sneaking suspicions that their team strategists are James Vowles and Peter Bonington, who are also on the grid. So they're really doing double duty.
A little bit of reverse favoritism there. So professional.
Oh, we are live. Okay. You're back to being live.
Right. Fortunately, there's been no accidents or anything. I think they've all got away cleanly.
Oh,
just as Matt
is that
Neal
Matt Neal?
goes head over heels. It is. It's our championship leader. That's disastrous for him.
Absolute
what on earth has happened
disaster.
there? You have to watch this back. But that BBW car is toast. He's on the outside here. I presume we're going to... Well, it's Harold Hill having a little bit of a moment ahead. Are we going to see something from the inside, the outside? Oh, yeah, there's contacts. And it is Harold Hill that gets caught up as well. Matt Neal across those safety guards. And
does he land it?
he's gone into Narnia. He is back in the pits then.
That is disaster for Hardy and BBW Racing.
It is. It looks like Ayrton Senna, Gilles Villeneuve and Kasuma Sato got caught up in that as well. So they are all in the pit lane as well. And Liam is right at the back as well. He's continued. But, yeah, we've got Lucius Augustus at the front at the moment then. Arambe, Gerald Berger, Fernando Alonso, Cecil, Jeff Goldblum.
Is that Jeff Goldblum from the back?
He is. He's up 38 positions. What an absolute
Holy
champ.
crap.
We might have to go back and watch his opening lap at the end. As we come round lap 4, there's a massive crash in the background.
Crash.
That's George Trulli I saw there. That's oh no,
Samuel
Jackson again.
Oh
isn't
no.
it? Oh, let's see what's happened this time. And again, they're just getting too crowded in the middle. It's Susie Wolf.
Susie Wolf.
That's just hit George Trulli.
I'm not paying her enough for that.
No.
Taking out the competition.
On board with Samuel Jackson. I think it's either Johnny Schumacher or Max Verstappen as well caught up in that. And that's a big old bill.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the front of the race then. I can't see anybody else. David Attenborough looks like he was caught up in that as well. He's in the pit lane.
Disaster for the championship contenders today.
They do. Matt Neal is back out, but he's 2 laps down. So currently we've got Matt Neal, Ayrton Senna, Gilles Villeneuve, Kasuma Sato come back out.
And Jesse Pinkman is up into the lead.
He is absolutely flying up 25 positions then. As that's Harambe now hitting the front on that inside track. And Richard Attenborough from pretty much the back of the field up 38 as well. So those that managed to pick their way through and stay out of the trouble. We've got a couple of groups forming. So we've got this front group. And that goes back to Hudson Hornet in this little group. Paul Disaster, Han Solo, Jackson Storm. And then we've got the stragglers that we're obviously trying to avoid the incident. John Major, Jake Dennis, Natalie Pinkman. Let's go back to the front of this race then. And they're still 5 or 6 wide. It's those random changes of direction from multiple cars at the same time that's causing issues here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a request for a Murray Walker impression. Next time someone says at least no one's crashed yet. I think that's on you.
Okay. Well, at least no one's crashed yet. It didn't
That's
work.
good.
Didn't work.
Way better than what I would have done.
I feel like it's doing a massive disservice to one of the greatest commentators of all time, but and an absolute hero of mine. But you just got to do it nasally. It's the only way I can get anywhere near it. So we've still got quite a few cars in this lead group. We've got 34 cars on the lead group, 33 that are in touch. Liam's dropped off a bit towards the back. All those cars that were caught up in incidents are coming back out then. Matt Neal, 8, Johnny Schumacher, Ayrton Senna. I think there's been another incident. And I think it's just... it might have been Jack Villeneuve. Yeah, Jack Villeneuve's hit the wall.
He got loose and must have hit... No, he got hit by...
That's that Berger or Villeneuve that's then hit Jarno Russell. And then Villeneuve's hit the wall. His wheels look straight. But not 100%.
Yeah, he's definitely lost the momentum there.
We've got our groups forming.
Oh, there's that Pulu and Richard Attenborough almost getting tangled.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's now Flavio Briatore that's at the front of that field. From Fernando
And right
Alonso.
behind, from Fernando Alonso.
So that's both of Dan's second team.
Can the 40-year-old get a double podium today?
That would be something special, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we had to fly him out special from Qatar to make this race.
Or was that not the real Fernando Alonso? Is that why he got a podium? Oh,
Yeah.
big wreck. I think that was Yana Russell. It's Harambe.
Harambe, no.
Caught up in that.
Is there any championship contenders left?
Yana Russell gets a taste of his own medicine. He didn't cause it this time, but Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum
goes
as
rolling
well.
once again.
Life could find a way. Racing is just no luck this season so far.
Cecil get caught up ahead. Oh my god! I've never seen crashes like this on the oval. They are brutal. Let's go back live. This front group getting smaller and smaller. Then they're still squabbling for position. The crashes are not getting rid of their resolve in the slightest. They're still going for this front. What have we got? We've got a front group of around 15 cars now. We've got a second group forming behind, but I think we're just going to have to stay with this front group for the moment.
Yeah, I got to take a look at the standings. Who's left? It looks like Illuminati's in the top 10, and Karen Horner is 20th. I don't know if she's crashed or she's just backed off, but I think that's like it on the lead lap, I think.
We've got another incident at the back and his teammates.
No, it's Saf Safso and Karen Horner. That's not teammates.
Oh, it's the liveries that confuse me.
Oh, it looks like Karen Horner was staying back and got caught up in it. Oh, Lando!
Is that Lando? Or was that?
That was Lando, yes.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So that's what Hudson Hornet on the inside. Cecil started that on the inside, and that's not going to buff out Lando.
What happens to Karen Horner? Does she just roll up and get destroyed?
My timing screen looks like some Christmas lights at the moment. I'm just trying to find her. She's still there. Oh no, I wasn't live, that's why. So I think she just... Oh, she's just gonna... What are you doing? What are you doing? Just go around. Just go around. It should be so simple. Right, let's jump back to the front. We're live now.
At least Illuminati in the top 20, and that's it. All the other championship contenders are out.
Yeah,
what a shake-up this will be.
But bear in mind, points all the way down to the back. From P30 backwards, they're a lap down, so they're still racing for stuff. More contacts!
Oh!
I think that's Jackson Storm and... Oh, it's Richard Attenborough.
Just lost his front wing, though. Just will need a nose change, it looks like. We'll see if they use the Samuel L. Jackson strategy and just stay out there.
Just can't pack race in these cars. They don't know what they're doing. 4 wide again. It's Zanardi that just wanders into Attenborough. Yeah, you're right. Just front wing. Well held. Well held, sir. Right. Let's go back to the front of this race. James Vowles.
Apparently Jesse Pinkman got taken out somewhere. Kagan has pointed out. I don't know where. Oh no, just fell back.
Yeah, it's P15. I think he was just avoiding the many crashes we've had. There are some other groups further back. I'm trying to just stay with this front group because it seems to be where the action's happening each time. I don't want to jump around too much in this race because it gets a bit jarring, but it's hard not to when there's this many crashes going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've still got pit stops to throw into the mix here. Lucius Augustus now hits the front. Can he make up for Spa? It wasn't his fault in Spa.
It was not his fault, but guess who's right behind him?
Well, yeah. That's an Hornet.
Oh, Fernando Alonso's right behind him.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's still having a good race. Flavio Briatore is still in this front group.
It is indeed Squid Game F3 version, you're right.
Literally going to be last one standing. As soon as this group gets down to 3 or 4 cars or something, then they're going to be able to have a race. And we're going to be able to recap where everybody is. But for the moment, I don't want to take my eyes off this front group because it's here. It's when they just split into 5 or 6 lanes. And then when they get to the corner again, they all tighten back up. And that's where the issues seem to happen.
Was Fernando Alonso going to try to clear Lucius Augustus here? Is he going to cut down? Just gonna give him the room.
Giving each other space, thankfully.
Flavio Briatore is looking for a bump draft there. Get his teammate up into the lead.
Just like Squid Game, everything calms down once the numbers are thinned from the herd.
I've never seen Squid Game.
I'd liken it to a sadistic battle royale.
Okay.
With games. Do highly recommend it though. If you can get past the terrible dubbing.
I mean, you could just sub. That's an option. Anyways, enough about Squid Game. The Squid Game podcast is coming next week.
Right, we're on lap
Kagan
12.
is the featured guest next week.
We haven't had any stops yet, lap 13. So the stops are where it's going to shake up again. The other crucial thing in this race is going to be those guys recovering that have already crashed, and then if people start coming out of the pits or get caught by this train, then that's another spanner in the works, isn't it? Right, let's see if we can just recap quickly then. So we've got this front group. So it's Illuminati, Martin Brundle, Bertrand Zanardi, Fernando Alonso, Paul Disaster, Han Solo, James Vowles, Lucis Augustus, Flavio Briatore, Gerhard Berger, and then just further back, still holding on, Jackson Storm, Cecil, Jesse Pinkman, and Jake Dennis. A lot of guys in there that need some good points here. And then further back, we've got another group of 3, Ted Kravitz, Mine Polcat, Pierre Lacroix. Back from them, another group of 4, Natalie Pinkman, Susie Wolf, James Ensby, Walter White. Further back from them, we got Rich Attenborough continuing without a front wing.
You don't need downforce on a oval.
No, not at all. Then you got Heinz Harold Hill, and then Peter Bonington, Lando Calrissian with Jack Villeneuve, John Major, Karen Horner, and Liam is the final car on the lead lap. Then, they're just changing very quickly. I thought there was another accident. Looks like there almost was in the background. These 4 going wheel to wheel.
6 wide?
Looks fairly calm. Should we go through the people that are a lap down that have been caught up then?
I think we can wait for a pit stop here.
Okay, let's stay on board with this front.
Oh,
More contact.
was that
Berger?
Gerhard Berger? Oh no.
Yeah, I think he's managed to keep it going. It's hit Zanardi and then hit Paul Disaster as well. He carries on. Is he collected? Hopefully not. He's got himself stuck on the banking. That's not smart, Gerhard. Oh, he's crabbed his way off. Lovely.
He got it.
And has carried on then. So it was another big incident, but most of them managed to avoid disaster there. This front group seems even smaller now, or am I just imagining that?
They are smaller. Where's Paul Disaster? He was just up there.
You can see the damage on the front wing.
Looks like they split into 2.
Yeah, so there was more contact. They've all carried on by the look of it. But yeah. It's now a front 6 then. Lucius Augustus, James Vowles, Bertrand Zanardi, Han Solo, Fernando Alonso, and Paluminati are in this front
I'm actually quite impressed at this lane management by Lucius Augustus.
Talk me through the lane management.
So yeah, what he's doing right now is dipping down into the inside lane for the corner, blocking off the inside line, and then coming out of the corner, he's hopping back up to the front to stop the momentum of the top line. So that's kind of what you have to do to manage the lead in one of these races. So I'm just surprised the AI is actually trying to do that, as he doesn't do that this time.
So I'm going to do the opposite of what the commentators tell me. Who have we got a little bit further back from this? This group's got a bit bigger now that those dropped off the front. Cecil, Jesse Pinkman, Flavio Briatore is still up there, but dropped away from that lead group, so it will leave his teammate to fend for himself. I thought I'd seen another accident, but no, we're all good. Oh, that was more intense.
Yeah. There's the lane management right there that Fernando Alonso did. He was on the outside line, dipped down to the inside to cut off the inside line.
It's a bit early in the race to be defending, though. You want to be saving fuel at this point, don't you? Rather than staying at the front.
It depends. Depends on the series. Depends on if you get points for leading laps. I mean, the last thing you want to do is get shuffled out. So yeah, once you're in the lead, you got to defend it. Otherwise, you'll get shuffled to the back.
Thankfully, there is no points for leading laps because I can barely keep track of the race itself, let alone those lead laps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if these drivers keep on going, we might only have a one stop here.
Yeah, fuel tanks are a little bit bigger than they've been for the rest of the season. Small adjustment from the we can still call it FIA, the Foxworth Assistance.
Foxworth International Assistance, yes. That's why all of my cars are in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, we might have to get that investigated. Maybe some weight penalties coming your way. Right, who's in that group? It is slowly settling down, isn't it? Now that these groups are getting a bit smaller.
Absolutely.
It's only going to take a few cars.
There's a... No. I thought Jake was pitting.
Oh, not early again, please, Jake.
I think they're all trying to do a one stop here.
Well, we normally see during this season series, we've seen the first stint is normally a lot longer than the others, so they'll have to go quite a way past 20 to make it a one stop. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'd be expecting them to be in and around about now, but looks like they're carrying on for the moment. See what's happening.
This could be good news for people that pitted on like lap 9 for damage or something, though. If they don't have to take, I mean, they're going to have to take that extra stop eventually.
Yeah, it depends how late they were caught up, really, doesn't it? But it will change their strategies. They everybody that was caught up is only a lap down. And there's nobody more than that, so they're all still in this. Not going to take much to reverse it, as you say, if they can find a different strategy. Lando Calrissian is showing. Oh, pitted lap 9. That's the damage. So that's the first of the damage cars, isn't it? Lando down there, and how is he? I'm very confused. How he's still on the lead lap, but he's pitted on lap 9. But
yeah, so someone like Lando could possibly win the race here. Just depends kind of how the pit stops go.
Yeah, it depends how deep they go, right? If they can go about 30 laps, then he's in with a chance. But I'm not expecting them to go that far. Let's catch back up with our championship leader. Although I fear not in this one, Matt Neal. And he's going to cruise past his teammate there. I don't know if Paul Disaster's had a bit of an issue.
I think he has some damage.
Very slowly. Oh, that's right. He's the one with the little bent. Yeah, his front lefts. Front left of his wings pretty bent. And then we've got David Attenborough plumb last at the moment.
Richard Attenborough right behind him with no wings still.
Yeah, he's actually... Richard Attenborough's still on the lead lap, so he's a lap ahead of him. So these guys just unlapping themselves. Now, we got pitters. They are in them. Han Solo from that lead group. James Vowles, Jackson Storm, Pierre Lacroix, Ted Kravitz, James Ensby, Polecat, Susie Wolf Heights, Harold Hill. It's going to be close then. Lap 19, I think they're going to have to make one more stop, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. But someone that pitted on like lap 9, lap 10 might be able to... I mean, they've already taken that damage, so if they get ahead of them in this pit stop sequence, then technically they're in that position.
Got you.
They're not off sequence for pit stops.
So Lando Calrissian was the first to stop, and he has... we need to wait for the positions to sort themselves out, but he's... looks there or thereabouts. He just had a Pierre Lacroix. There's James Vowles that's just come out of the pit. So yeah, you're right, he's got back into it. So we'll see how that goes. Right, the rest of these guys are in them. So that's Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, Bertrand Zanardi, Flavio Briatore, and Martin Brundle are continuing on, though.
They are, so they're going one more. Will they have the fuel?
Yeah, I would look for them to finish the race out. So, theoretically, they should.
As I say, the first stints in every race we've done has always been a lot longer than the subsequent stints, because I think of how much they save at the beginning, so I don't think we'll see these guys getting to the end. But you never know.
Okay.
Might be proved wrong.
Yeah.
wait and see. Hopefully they've judged it right though and come in. Flavio Briatore, Martin Brundle, the only other two that have stayed out.
Yeah, no experimental tank slapping to get the last bit of fuel, right?
No,
Martin Brundle looked. Yeah, it looked like Martin Brundle was going for a move there. Oof. Almost rear-ended him.
Fortunately, no contact in the pit lane, so we're all good for that. So we'll see where they come out. They've gone a lap later than Fernando Alonso. Han Solo, there's a little gap to Pulu. Oh, he's got Jeff Goldblum on his outside. That's never good news as Jeff Goldblum goes for a move.
How many laps down is Jeff Goldblum?
Only the one today so far.
Oh yeah, he's fighting for the lap back there.
So here come these three. And Han Solo's the next guy with Fernando Alonso. They're going to comfortably clear them. So it's not really worked out for these guys.
They're not going to be too far off though.
No, actually, the way this has filtered back in, it's actually made him seem like he's a lot further behind than he is. So yeah, no, he can pick up the next car, Pulu. That mob behind. This is the kind of group that worries me. There's a lot of back markers in here.
Any bent wheels? Pulu got wide there.
Here's where he's just trying to get his tyres up to temperature.
Trying to avoid the Jeff Goldblum effect.
I mean, that's a very wise thing to do at the moment. I thought we might have an accident. Oh, it's instead of pitting. And Kazuma Sato. So those guys, I think, were caught up in an instance on lap 1, so that's why they're now pitting. Yeah, you're right. Where was Lando then?
He's in 10th now.
Yeah, so he's in that second group with Jake Dennis, James Vowles, and Martin Brundle. So, yeah, interesting to see. A bit of an alternate strategy. And he should theoretically be quicker now, right? With less fuel.
Should be, yeah. Tire wear is not really a huge deal on ovals, especially whenever you're an AI.
We've got lots of battles going on down further the field. These guys are a lap down. All these people that were caught up in instance. Let's pay them a visit. We've got both Johnny Schumacher and Michael Verstappen, the teammates. Harambe having a pretty poor race by his standards this season. That's gonna... Well, I was going to say, will allow him to drop off the leaders, but then Matt Neal's not exactly having a stunning race either, nor is David Attenborough, so we'll have to see at the end of this one.
Mr. Consistency, unfortunately, is way down and second to last.
So here are your leaders then. Fernando Alonso and Han Solo. And then, oh, it's an almighty train behind. This worries me. Worries me immensely, especially with Jeff Goldblum in the middle of that pack.
They're catching the two cars up there.
Well, they will, right? They've got a bigger pack, more slipstream. Should be able to work together to eat those front two up. Even if they don't, they'll be saving fuel over those front two. Oh, somebody cutting across Jesse Pinkman there. Yeah, I think all these guys are on the lead lap, apart from Jeff Goldblum. Again, hence why I'm worried.
The car doesn't look too bent, though.
He doesn't need a bent car, Jeff Goldblum. He just... he causes trouble wherever he goes. I'm sure he doesn't mean to. He's probably oblivious that it happens, but he does.
Yeah. Should we insert a Taylor Swift Trouble song? Is that even Taylor Swift?
Oh!
Oh!
Big crash! Is that Jesse Pinkman? It is.
That is Jesse Pinkman.
Oh, no.
Disaster for Team RV.
He's doing so well.
I didn't realize that was a replay.
Oh, you thought it was not. Oh, Jeff Goldblum's on his right rear wheel. This makes me worried. And then I think it's going to be Jackson Storm though on the inside. It is.
Jackson Storm. Ancillary teammates.
Can they just not see each other? It's beggars belief. Just takes him out. And I'm trying to find the other car caught up in that Zanardi.
Yeah, Bertrand Zanardi. Such a shame he had
carried on them, but looks like he's got damage. Right, let's go back live. I told you that group was worrying me.
Yeah, it's such a shame for Bertrand Zanardi. He had that extra lap on everyone else, along with Flavio Briatore here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jesse Pinkman as well caught up in that. He was having such a good race until then. In the pits at the moment. He'll still have plenty to race for. There's still potentially a top... well, we're now back up to 32 on the lead lap. So I think some of the people that stayed early have gained some time back here. Because there was about 23 on the lead lap. Now there's a lot less. So Zanardi gets his car back to the pits then.
So he should be able to make it from here. I think everyone else is going to have to get a stop anyways.
Yeah, so it's whether stopping earlier is going to help him or not here. We've got more action in this third group. That's James Vowles off wide there. Is that something happening, or was he just picked the wrong line and stayed a bit high, didn't he?
Yep.
So
Kagan does confirm that Jackson Storm is going to be fired.
Taking out is which one's the B team, which one's the A team? I'm presuming the cars team is the B team then.
Yeah, Team RV is yeah, Team RV is definitely doing better. But we'll see after today what the standings are.
I'll just Pinkman coming back out of the pits then. P35, but you can see there's a lot of cars around him still, so still progress to be made. As you say, he can go to the end from there. So maybe we'll come to him towards the end of the race. We'll wait and see. These front two, with that squabbling, means that I don't like Jeff Goldman being on a completely different line to everybody else. It's okay.
So Han Solo going for a move on Flavio Briatore, and Pulu is coming in as well.
It's
Jackson Storm.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Han Solo's up. There's too many blue cars.
Yeah, we've already said this. We're limiting the numbers for season 2. Nice little battle back here with Ayrton Senna, George Trulli and Michael Verstappen. 3 very recognisable F1 names in very unrecognisable cars.
Definitely. Who's the biggest mover so far? Is it Martin Brundle?
For John Major? Might be.
Yeah, John Major was lap 7, I think.
Okay.
So he went 20 laps.
So it looks like then maybe they can go to the end of these guys. Be close.
Yeah. Biggest mover, I think, is Martin Brundle so far, and biggest loser is what? George Trulli? Or no, probably Matt Neal.
Would be Matt Neal, down 35. George Trulli down 32. All these guys are racing each other, but they're a lap down, unfortunately. But, every point's going to count. They get points all the way down to 44th, so they keep battling as we go back to the second group then.
Lando's going to need to pull into the pit soon.
4 wide again.
And Lando's on the outside. He might run out of fuel and cause an issue.
Yes, you're right. It's going to be about now that he needs to pit. He does seem to be strategically dropping to the back, so maybe that is what he's attempting to do now. But he will go again.
Yeah, he's not looking like he's trying to get down there.
He's got no urgency about it. If he he is drifting across.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to set it up. Yep, he's going for the inside line. I think he's...
Oh, gross. Nearly takes out Jackson Storm there. If he is pitting, he's making it really difficult for himself. And he is. He's pitting off them.
Oh, that was a close one.
So he's done exactly 20 laps, so he'll get to the end. But interestingly, it's whether some of those guys... It's Jackson's? Oh, no. So, you're right, there's too many blue cars. But he will pit now and be okay till the end. It's whether these front guys... So if they're doing 20 laps, I think you're right. I think these guys might get to the end. Like Flavio Briatore and Martin Brundle, should be fairly easy, right?
Yeah.
So Hudson White comes back out of the pits. A few more big groups here. This is for 31st, 32nd, 33rd, 34th. Ayrton Senna, Harambe, Johnny Schumacher, George Trulli, and 8. 2 of Rage's cars in it, and 2 of Mario's, isn't it? Verstappen and Schumacher.
Yes.
And then we see Samuel
Aaron
Jackson recovering in the background.
Has Richard Attenborough gotten a wing yet? He's in the pits right now.
Yeah,
he
it looks
already
like
got a
he's
wing.
just had that done, yeah.
Good.
And these guys, I presume the others that pitted early after the incidents then. So Polkat,
Yep.
Kravitz and Ensby. They'll be good to the end, but it will only be useful if the guys up top have to stop again. Which
Absolutely.
That looks like the tail end of something. But they've kept away. This fort still working together, still feeling they need to go 4 wide. Just work in a train, guys. Think road cycling. Why don't you drop to the back and keep slingshotting the rest? Some more stoppers further down. It's Paul Disaster coming in for his final stop. So we've got 9 laps to go. Talk us through what you think is going to happen here then with the strategy.
Yeah, it's looking like everyone can make it in the top 20 here, top 21 that we can see on screen. But yeah, it just depends on if the AI makes a weird move, like a last lap splash and dash. I don't know. Fernando Alonso has been up in the lead this whole time, so maybe he isn't saving any fuel at all, and Han Solo is going to win. It just kind of all comes down to the fuel strategy here.
Yeah, this could be big brain plays from Han Solo here, because he's been in that slip. He's not tried to make a move on Fernando Alonso pretty much at all during this stint. And he pitted earlier than all of these guys apart from James Vowles, so maybe that is what he's doing. Just saving fuel. Susie Wolf comes out of the pits now. It's definitely calmed down this race anyway. After that crazy start.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really surprised these guys haven't caught. I guess they just don't work together as you would see NASCARs or IndyCars doing. Although, well, IndyCars, it's only really NASCARs that work but best in the pack, isn't it?
Yeah.
IndyCars tend to string out a bit.
Yeah, you kind of have to. It's just how the aerodynamics works. Obviously, in NASCAR, you can bump draft a little easier, a little safer. Because, I mean, if you just kind of touch another, the back wheel of a car, an Indy car with a front wing, you're going to either lose your front wing or you're going to spin out the car ahead of you. So it's a little bit less beneficial to be pack racing in these types of cars.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen the accidents that happen when they try anyway, so... yeah. Probably happier. This is pretty much the biggest pack on the track at the moment. These guys fighting for 30th down to 36th. How's our recovering guys going then? So Matt Neal is still quite a long way down. He's not really managed to make any progress, so it's looking like a bad day for BBW. And that's going to shake the championship up. That's what it needed, really, wasn't it? They were starting to run away with it, even after 2 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. The only championship contender up in the top 10 is Pulu Manati.
Yeah, absolutely. So we could well see him in the championship lead by the end of today. We'll see. George Trulli also in this group now. So we've got 7 laps to go. And we'll have one eye on that battle at the front to see if all of them or any of them can make it to the end on the fuel they've got. So we'll keep it all as Zetson gets massively out of shape on the high line. Holds it together.
Got all the marbles and everything out there in the high line. A little bit dirtier.
Yeah. This is what's been causing the issue. These guys that just take a different line to everybody else. And then it all Constantina's back up as they get to the corner. Rambate moving about a bit at the back. They will survive another lap. Right, let's go back up to the front then. And Solo's still stuck to the gearbox of Fernando Alonso. He really looks like he just wants to sit there and save fuel.
Yeah, this could be some team orders from Dan at play here. So I'm not sure what he's telling them in their ear.
He's still trying to convince them they're not on the Millennium Falcon. They keep putting blasters on it, and he has to let them know that they'll go to jail if they do that on a racetrack.
Yeah.
But it's they've got a lot of money from some smuggling they did years ago, so it will be on the voting table at the next Foxworth Autosport committee meeting.
Yeah, if you want laser guns, yeah, if you want laser guns, yeah, it's a couple million bribe, it's fine.
And then we'll just pay iRacing to implement it. Easy. Don't see a problem.
Exactly. We're not about driver safety here.
This battle is still, it may be for the low 30th places, but it's really heating up between these 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got a championship contender in Harambe right now.
Yeah,
we could see.
Careful, yeah?
We could see completely different people in the top 3 after this race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to shake it up. And don't even get me started on the team's championship. I've no idea where we're going to be at the end of this one. That's the joy of it, though, as Rambe negotiates 8. Johnny Schumacher and Jarno Trulli, as they once again then go to 5 wide on the straight. And Constantina up. This guy's racing very well. Where was this wheel-to-wheel skill earlier in this race?
Okay, I was expecting a crash.
I've been expecting one for about 10 minutes, but they seem to be finding a way. None of them are life finds a way, though. Almost contact between 8 and there at the centre there. Much changed at the top, so we'll stick with this battle.
Ooh! That was George truly pushing up 8 right there. Very nearly ended in disaster. Not Paul Disaster,
no,
he's up.
Disaster is actually ahead of this battle on his own
yes,
at the moment in P25, outscoring his teammate for a change.
Yep, but not a great day for BBW Racing for sure.
No, they're going to take a tumble in the standings. I mean, they've got a buffer to take a tumble, but it's going to put them right back in the clutches of 5 or 6 teams, I would imagine, by the end of this. As George Trulli now peels away. It's the outside. I know the minute I click away from this, there's gonna be a massive accident. I think we should jump back up to our front guys now then, as we're on the penultimate lap. So it does look like these guys are going to be able to go to the end. Han Solo been sitting there saving fuel. Surely he's saved enough fuel now, so he needs to make a move now, right? We're about to go on to the final lap. And then who will get the final podium position? Pulu, Flavio Briatore. How good would that be for Dan's team, as he does take to the inside and falls behind.
Is Pulu gonna do the lane changing technique as we come back to this? Or as we
He's
go
making
back
his move. Finally.
Oh, he is.
Finally, he's pulled out.
Solo's making his
Fernando Alonso.
Going way too high there.
Yeah. I don't think he knows what he's doing. He's not used to being this far up. Not used to overtaking people.
Oh, Fernando Alonso in the pit.
And we got Jackson's. Is that that's James Vowles?
James Vowles and Jackson Storm.
There. We got
the last lap.
Who else? That's
Jake Dennis.
Oh,
every time Jake Dennis.
Strategy again. disaster. I guess these are guys that were just running out of position, out of slipstream. I mean, also we know pitted on lap 21, and Han Solo lap 20. But because Han Solo sat there in the slipstream, he's on his way to his opening victory of this season.
Oh my goodness, what a change of events.
And then who will get this podium then? Two of these three will. Cecil, Fabio Briatore, and Pulu, who any one of these four positions is probably going to finish the race maybe at the top of the standings. As he goes second now. Han Solo, though, coming up to the line for Falcon Racing, is going to take the win here, and it's 3 wide on the field.
Cecil! I think Cecil's going to get it!
Cecil's got the run.
He's got it, and Pulu's third. My goodness.
Cecil timed it to perfection. Illuminati in P3, Flavio Briatore P4. Great battle between those guys. And then it's Lucius Augustus and Martin Brundle that benefited from those stoppers to finish in 5th and 6th. Walter White crossed the line in P7. Fernando Alonso got back out in P8 after his stop then. So not as
quite a
disastrous
disaster
as we thought. So he will still get some decent points, but he's thrown away a win there just because Han Solo just got the strategy better. He stayed in the slipstream. I mean, he was glued to his gearbox the entire race, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Just saving fuel.
You don't have to pass the car.
Dawn P9, James Vowles P10, Lando Calrissian. That strategy did work for him, kind of. P11.
Yeah, exactly.
Still a decent result. Mine Polecat. It's P12 from Pierre Lacroix. It's actually a decent day for gentleman racers.
It is indeed.
Polecat up 26 places then. Martin Brundle up 29. James Ensby, John Major, Ted Kravitz, Jake Dennis. Oh, his strategy once again. He's got such speed, this boy, but he just... Rage really... I think Rage is doing the strategy himself. I think that's probably why it's going wrong. Jack Villeneuve, Liam Bridesmaid, Bertrand and Nardi round off the top 20. Then going further back then, Susie Wolf, Natalie Pinkham, Heinz Harold Hill, Paul Disaster, Gerhard Berger, Karen Horner, Richard Attenborough, Saf Safso, Peter Bonington, Ayrton Senna, Jarno Russell, Harambe, Samuel Jackson, Johnny Schumacher, George Trulli, Michael Verstappen, 8, Matt Neal, Kazuma Sato, Gilles Villeneuve, Jeff Goldblum, Hudson Hornet. Launches Pierre Lacroix. It wouldn't be a race without seeing Pierre Lacroix, is it?
Oh my goodness.
We told you he was a crash magnet. Where did Pierre Lacroix finish? Oh, he's up there, isn't he? What was going on there? Oh, he's just gone into... I didn't think there was contacts in the pit lane. That's interesting to know. Oh no, we've seen it. We've seen it at ovals only, I think. So maybe it is ovals. Just as Pierre Lacroix's pit crew thought they'd got away for a week without damage on his car, he ends up upside down then. Who was it that made that? Made up like 38 positions at the start. Can you remember?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
While you're working out those standings, then let's just see if we can. Well, let's see the start again because you guys would have missed it. Unfortunately, because my internet dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, that's practice. That's useful. Who was on pole? That was Pierre Lacroix, wasn't it? So yeah, you can see here how they sort of spread themselves out once they get away from the 2x2. But I think it was a fairly clean start, to be honest. They all got away, thankfully, because you guys couldn't see it at the time. fairly calm to begin with. It's quite a sight though, 44 cars steaming into the first lap here. And yeah, where is Jeff Goldblum? There he is. You okay with being that far down the standings, Fox?
Yeah. I'm just down to the bottom.
Cool. So there's that first crash. Being caused by, I think that's Liam actually. Yeah, it's Liam that hit Jules Villeneuve and then the chaos behind. So there's Jeff Goldblum up 5 or 6 places at the start. And he's going to find his way to the front, you know, basically a couple of laps here. So our box is working out the standings. Let's see exactly how he did that. So that inside line working really well for him. Picks up a toe from one of his teammates. Since he gets in the way. It's just being on the inside line that's helped out here. There'll be another crash ahead of us in a minute. I think probably will be where he gets himself to the front.
Do you have the standings?
They complete.
No, I'm missing one.
Okay. Sorry about that, again, guys. We're obviously not going to stream this again. This answers my question about whether I can stream as well. For some reason, it's just cutting in and out. Or has done twice, which is not great.
Not great. So yeah, we won't do streaming. Yeah, I need whoever's in front of Susie Wolf.
In front of Susie Wolf was
Bertrand
Zanardi. Yeah.
All right. So you want to go down the order real quick, just to double check my work?
Sure. Which one are you reading?
I'm reading off of mine, off the spreadsheet. Ready?
Yep, go.
All right, so from the top, we got Han Solo, Cecil Palluminati, Flavio Briatore, Lucius Augustus, Martin Brundle, Walter White, Fernando Alonso, Jackson Storm, James Vowles, Lando Calrissian, Mine Polecat, Pierre Lacroix, James Insby, John Major, Ted Kravitz, Jake Dennis, Jacques Villeneuve, Liam Bridesmaid, Bertrand Zanardi, Susie Wolf, Natalie Pinkman, Heinz Harold Hill, Paul Disaster, Gerhard Berger, Karen Horner, Richard Attenborough, Saf Sasso, Peter Bonington, Ayrton Senna, Yarno Russell, Harambe, Samuel L. Jackson, Johnny Schumacher, George Trulli, Michael Verstappen, 8, Matt Neal, Kazuma Sato, Gilles Villeneuve, Jeff Goldblum, Hudson Hornet, Jesse Pinkman, and David Attenborough.
Spot on. Yep, all good.
All right, just got to sort these now.
You get to see all the backroom stuff today, guys. Of us working it out. Yeah, we will. I'll check the recording before we do it next time, and I think we will record once again. There may be some point in the next. Well, it'll be hopefully about 2 months from last week that I'll be moving out, and we'll have a space to stream and definitely the internet to stream properly. So
okay,
we'll improve them, but we'll pre-record it next time. Up until then, fresh hamsters needed for the hamster wheel. I think there is, to be honest. Yeah, my room is absolutely baking, which probably isn't helping. I have to run on Wi-Fi because I can't get to my router with a cable, or not allowed to. So
you ready to go over the standings?
Yep, if they're all ready.
They're all ready.
Okay, let's have a look, guys, after that crazy race at round number 3 then. Exactly what that's done to the standings. So in the drivers, we have a new leader. Palluminati has hit the front after that third place. It's Cecil just behind on 176 points. Our previous leader, Matt Neal, still up there in P3 with 172. David Attenborough is P4 with 151, and then Karen Horner also up there still, despite a pretty poor race, with 149. quite notably, Flavio Briatore now 6th. He's kept that quiet. I know he had a good result today, but I didn't realise he'd had such a good season previous to this as well. And then the Teams Championship, it is still BBW Cosworth Racing, but it's now just 2 points, 2 memes to the moon. That's Hardy and Rage. That could be quite a battle to the end of the season if it's those two. Your team, Gentlemen Racers.
One of them is more memey than the other one.
Yeah, true, and it's not memes to the moon. Gentlemen Racers are in third with 250. El Clasico up to 240. Who's El Clasico?
That's Dan. That's
is that
Flavio
Briatore
and Fernando Alonso. Yep.
Oh, nice. Team Prince of Powers are 5th with 235. The team that was in 2nd, Life Finds a Way, are now 6th. That's how quickly it can change. They're still in plus 200 points. They're still in the running with a long way to go. Team RV, P7, not the best race from this time, but again, still 195 points on the table. Dan's other team, Falcon Racing, in 8th, Adaptable Racing 9th, and S&M Motorsport in 10th. Rest of the standings will go up in the Foxworth Community Autosport tomorrow, as per normal. But yeah, it's some big changes. I mean, yeah, we've still got BBW at the top of the teams, but it's an awful lot closer now. And yeah, 2 new drivers at the first 2 positions in the drivers, so it's all to play for still, isn't it, Fox?
Absolutely, and Pulu hasn't really had a terrible race so far, so he could be tumbling. I mean, yeah, any driver that has a bad race is going to go tumbling down the order, and if someone wins, they're going to go flying up the order. So it's it's just week to week at this point. And it's an accordion effect. So, I mean, obviously there's only so many results. And so like right now it looks kind of stretched out, but as people go and, swap positions and stuff throughout the season, it's going to keep on shrinking and shrinking like an accordion until it's going to be just like the top 10 that could win in the final race or something.
Yeah, exactly. With points all the way down to 44th and 100 available for the winner. If things go right, then you could have Fernando Alonso 1 point off the lead next time round, and he's down in 15th. So, and then the teams, that's just times by 2 in terms of how quickly that can change. So, we've still got our early runners up there, but it's closing and closing, isn't it, between the chasing pack? So, yeah, definitely do not miss the rest of the season because it's a huge amount to play for still before people get their hands on that prize money. But yeah, look, I can only apologise today, guys, about it starting and stopping. I hope that the live stream was okay way to watch it. We will go back to the pre-recording next week, I think, just because it's a more polished experience.
Assuming that the recording doesn't mess up.
Yes, I'll make sure. It's the one time I haven't checked it before recording, and it's the one time. Well, I've got a new headset. I don't know. We recorded before that. I don't know why it was off. My mic.
Yeah.
Something.
It's a good thing.
AMD.
It's a good thing it wasn't an hour and 40-minute recording or anything.
Sorry, say that again. I was reading a comment.
Oh, as long as it wasn't an hour and 40-minute race that we recorded.
Well, I feel like we got a much better race from a spectator point of view than the one that was supposed to happen. So, yeah.
Oh, Galax says no worries. It wasn't too bad. He's watched worse. That's true. He usually watches my channel.
Okay. Well, if that's where the bar is, then. Yeah. I mean, I would like to make them live streams, but let's say I need to be in my new place and in an environment where I can stream, and then that'll be more general on the channel as well, not just this fantasy league. But it's a way off, so yeah, we'll go back to pre-recording next time. What sort of time is the Saudi race? Is it in the afternoon?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like noon my time, so probably like 5 p.m. your time. Okay, cool. So we'll put something out anyway as to when it's going to be. Round 4 is going to be Bathurst. If you thought this was bad, well, to be fair, it's probably going to have to go some way to match the opening few laps of this race. But there's going to be the constant threat of incidents, I think, around Bathurst, especially over that mountain section. 44 F3 cars going through the mountain is going to be some sights to behold. So, do they do single seaters in Bathurst in real life?
No, God no.
That's just that seems like a disaster waiting to happen.
There's probably some form of like track days or something where people might have taken them around, but there's definitely no official series as far as I'm aware. I've never seen footage of it, and I feel like I would have. I think that the mountain just wouldn't deal with it, and it'd be with an open cockpit with that mountain section. I think safety would be a massive concern.
Definitely. So you can see it here first. Open wheels around Bathurst.
Absolutely.
44 cars.
Yeah, we'll message the F3 Championship and suggest it to them from watching this.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for joining along today, and anybody watching it back. Hope teams did well today. If not, better luck next time. Long way to go, and I think anybody's still within a chance, except maybe Jeff Goldblum. But that's just on him. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Fox.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Yeah, enjoy, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and we'll speak to you soon.